Good morning. It's me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And my hair is like weirdly bunched up and it's annoying me. And we're about to begin to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see this reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our outside environment. And if we want to see changes, we have to make changes within ourselves. And today is one of those days where we look extensively at how to do that. We're looking at what we need to release with the feminine side of self on the Empress side, and what we need to rebuild with the masculine side of self on the masculine side. This is energy, not gender. So this is the energy that is within you. When I read this energy, you're often going to associate it with a person, but keep trying to redirect how this is actually active within you in the ways that are specific to you. So it's going to manifest. It can manifest the same way outside of ourselves, but we want to pay attention to, for instance, let's say we are looking at somebody who is has cheated, but you've never cheated on a partner. And you're like, well, I don't do that. Well, you have to look for the ways that you maybe betray yourself, like you keep returning to somebody who betrays you, which is a betrayal towards your worthiness and so you have to kind of suss out how this fits you and your story. That's how you heal the energy so that you stop attracting those interactions. Okay. Let's start with divine feminine, top of the deck, head space and heart space, the general energy surrounding the thing that needs to be released, which we haven't seen yet. That's going to come up in the first position. But this is just her general energy in this moment surrounding what needs to be let go. We have the jolly old Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is in the head space. So yes, divine feminine, definitely feeling that there is a lack of reciprocity with the masculine energy, the masculine side of self. She feels that she's giving a lot more than she actually receives, or she has a willingness maybe to give more than is being received. In the heart space, we're balancing that energy of reciprocity with her own offer, which is this gorgeous, bountiful Ace of Pentacles energy from the Muse Tarot. This is from the Star Spinner Tarot today. I think they're going to go quite well together. So Divine Feminine is truly feeling that she has an incredible offer on the table, and that it is bountiful and prosperous and fertile and abundant and healthy, growing, expansive. And she wants to give it to the right person. And she's feeling like the options she has just don't quite have the same sort of intent to invest. And so she's seeking that divine masculine that's going to match her energy. So this is just the general energy. Something about not being able to receive a true reflection of her offer is what is blocked, and we're gonna or yes is what is blocked, and we're going to look at what needs to be released in order to allow that energy. The hidden assistance that will help her in this process of unblocking is the Hermit in reverse and the Two of Swords. You're not going to like this hidden assistance, Divine Feminine. You have to get out. You have to come out of isolation. And this time that you've been all isolated during the standstill that you've been in, this was what actually helped you. So the standstill that you were in with the masculine, where no decision was being made to come forward, was infuriating to you. It brought up all of these, it triggered all of these old wounds, and you had to go within and figure them out. But you're done now. So your hidden assistance is that you did go into this hermit energy during the standstill. You went into your isolation Instead of engaging with a bunch of other energy and spreading yourself too thinly, you focused entirely on yourself. You went inward, you looked for the answers, and you got them. And so now we can come out of this standstill. We don't have to stay here anymore. That's the hidden assistance. So that standstill that you were chafing at, it was actually this incredible blessing for you to develop this Ace of Pentacles for yourself. Okay, so what past experience do I need to release? The Seven of Wands in reverse and the Four of Wands upright. When the Seven of Wands goes into reverse, we're looking at energy of lowering our defenses. And it can be about fighting for our stance, like having to battle for the things we want. In order to move forward, we have to like break through some kind of boundary or barrier and head towards the next path. And we have to stand our ground and fight off anything that's opposing our ability to enter into a solid, stable foundation in our relationships. So we need to release the defensive stance that comes from a fear that we can't come into union, which if you saw the reading on Wednesday where the obstacle for feminine was truly believing that she was already in union, then we can look at the release that she has to do for dropping her defenses, her defensiveness that she experiences when she's forced to recognize that union is truly about union and self. And this is also about fighting against the twin flame journey. Just embrace it. I think a lot of times we get really afraid that if we stay on this journey, we're going to miss out on opportunities. But the journey is not about staying and focusing on one person. The journey is about learning how to have unconditional love and compassion for that person while you live your life. How you release your ego's attachment to them, how you understand that their behaviors came from their ego's attachments to you, and how you understand that the ego was attached to you because it felt a spark of adoration, love, something that comes from the divine. All of that process of the twin flame journey is not to be resisted. What is to be resisted is using that label as an excuse to accept abuse and not have healthy boundaries, or to mislabel others. So divine feminine, you have to stop fighting against your twinship. You are two souls separated into two vessels on the planet at different incarnations throughout time. You wouldn't have gotten into this concept and found me and arrived here if there weren't some reason for it. Even if it's just that this is the language that you prefer to learn this lesson with, okay? Like even if there's nothing to it, it's a completely made up idea, completely invented by just a really bored person one day, okay? Like let's say it's just bunk, doesn't mean anything. It's still meaningful to you. Because for you, for some reason, this language allows you to understand your spiritual journey. And understanding your spiritual journey helps you to have a healthy, happy life. So if the fruits of your journey are that you are improving yourself, you're going into your passions, you're able to look within, go inward in isolation and be content there to explore yourself and have a relationship with yourself, have a solid relationship with yourself, then there is nothing wrong with your journey. If you aren't doing any of those things, you're probably not actually on the journey. You just latched on to the name and applied it to a very abusive partner. But you're still called here to figure that out. So stop resisting the labels and the meanings and embrace them as something that's helping you to be your best version of self. So that's what we're working on releasing today. Releasing our defense against coming into union. And this is also potentially about being afraid of marriage again, being afraid of commitment, fighting against being in another union. And this, of course, we know the masculines are having that happen. And this is the feminine side of the self. So we are looking at that side of self in any person and what that side of self is dealing with. The twin flame labels being stupid, feeling like they're stupid, and the idea that we actually come into sacred union being just as stupid and maybe potentially just more like bondage and having fears about that commitment. So we have to release that, okay? The next position is, what can I do right now to soothe myself? The King of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Pentacles upright. For me, there's a strong message here of just, and I will say this and you will like, well, how am I going to do that? Releasing your attachment, letting go of a specific person fitting the label. That's the first thing that will be helpful. This does not mean that you have to stop wanting to be with the person. Just take the label off of them and say, this is a person who I am meant to learn lessons with and I have some kind of a connection with, okay? That can apply to every single person in our lives. And it makes the specific person, it puts less pressure on you and that person, which helps in manifesting what we want. Pressure is not a pressure cooker is not a good space for manifestation. We're going to get a lot of stuff we don't need in there because we don't have the space we need to actually expand. Okay. So letting go of an attachment to a specific person and focusing more on your own foundation right now. Just focus on your material foundation. This can mean making sure that your finances are being taken care of in a general way, but it can also just mean like making your space comfortable and reflective of your material worth and value that you're starting to tune into within yourself. Excuse me. Focusing more on your own prosperity and abundance and your own comfort in the material will be really soothing to you at this time. And not worrying too much about whether the person that you are focused on is your twin or not. It's sort of irrelevant, right? If it turns out that it's your twin, great. You come together in a very rare, precious moment of all time. Or it turns out to be a soulmate. Amazing, great. You come together, a very rare and precious moment of time. Or it turns out to be a karmic. Great. You come together. You learn lessons. You part. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you learn your worth and your value. And you do that by focusing on it right now. And not focusing so much on whether this person is going to complete you, because the answer to that is no, this person doesn't complete you. The idea that there's this missing part of self that's physical on the earth or even spiritual, and that you're not self until you come together is the exact opposite of the lesson. The opposite of the lesson is like, oh, I was always self. I was always together, even when we weren't together. Huh. All right, so what can I expect to encounter as I make space for new energy? Wow. The Nine of Wands, which is healing, and the Page of Cups, which is true love, innocence, new love, apologies given, apologies received, and the energy of the Seven of Wands, where we were fighting, now we've stopped fighting. We've taken ourselves away from that struggle, the back and forth energy, the fighting one another. And we're just, able to actually heal our hearts and experience love. That's not fraught. That's not constantly, against one another. What behaviors have gotten in my way? The 10 of Swords, upright, and the Muse of Emotions, which is also known as the King of Cups energy in the Muse Tarot. We skip King. We go from Queen to Muse, which is kind of an interesting decision on the part of the creator of the deck. So the behavior that has really gotten in our way is being stuck on this certain energy, which is so loving and kind and compassionate, caring, honest and brave and true and decent and just and noble, sensitive, psychic. Sounds so good. It is so good. That's us, right? It's the reflection of us. It's the reflection of the things inside of us, right? What's the problem with the Muse of Emotions cup? We are unable to express. We're stuck in a position where we can't express our love. There are many reasons for this. There is the general separation, which might have restrictions in communication. There is the mental entrapment of feeling like we can't express because we don't want to do something that could potentially end our situation. It's 8:55 on the clock. Being stuck on one masculine energy rather than allowing for the potential for there to be a lot of muses of emotions out there for you. And the other element that's present is that the King of Cups, while being fantastic, is a king that's rife with insecurities. And the insecurities cause him to act extremely unpredictably. So this is also your problem. Your insecurities cause you to act extremely unpredictably. And this has held you back. And both of you do this. What can I do now to avoid this? The Page of Swords and the Three of Wands. Page of Swords in reverse. Stop spying and be patient. Stop trying to see the pieces falling into place and feel the pieces falling into place. Stop trying to mentalize how things happen and start to feel why they will happen. They will happen because you asked for something in the Two of Wands. Source heard you, understood only the essence of what you asked for, knows no exclusion, but only the essence, and proceeds to line up everything into place so that in the Three of Wands, you can finally see your ships coming in. The dominoes are falling, so to speak, and they will fall where they will. So if you want to stop having these overly emotional reactions that keep you stuck, if you want to stop experiencing the negative feelings that you get associated with your insecurities, you can do that right now by not looking at the masculine, not trying to see what that masculine is doing. Remember, if you want to soothe yourself, you need to release an attachment to the specific masculine. So forget about him. Forget about him. Forget about him. And you're like, but how? This is how. This is you. Look what you have. Look at what this masculine is giving you. He's not increasing your fertility. He's not increasing your abundance. He is not increasing your worth. He is not increasing your value. He is not protecting you. He is not providing for you. He is not giving you love. He is not giving you affection. He is not growing a family with you. Does he intend to? I don't know. Maybe. You're going to wait to find out? Or are you going to realize that you don't need this person to give you something you already have? Does this mean we have to stop thinking about this person? No. The whole thing that we need to release is the resistance to thinking about this person as our twin or whatever. But what we have to do is release our attachment to to what that actually means. It's simply lovely. It is simply lovely that you have found a person who is so wonderful, shows you your value, shows you your worth, shows you the love that's flowing through the universe. That in and of itself is all that you need to hold on to. This person, you don't have to hold on to that person. If it's meant to be, it will come back to me. But there has to be a me to come back to. And if you don't know me because you're spending all your time, when you come to these readings, you're thinking only about your person. You're not thinking about how I'm doing these readings for you. I'm not doing these readings so that your other person will come back to you. I'm not. If that's why you're here, thank you so much for being here. You'll probably be here for a long time. I am doing these readings so that you will come back to you, because only then can you get the things that you desire. Because right now, without feeling like you are more important, you can't see the worth that would allow you to see this potential for this match to come towards you. So you're stuck in your insecurities. You'll feel less insecure if you don't focus on how divine masculine isn't showing up. If you don't look for reasons why. If you don't try to look at his social media to see who he's with, because that's the reason that he's not coming. That's not the reason. The reason that he's not coming is because you're looking for reasons why he's not coming. Not reasons why he is. So change this behavior and watch your ships come in rather than looking for the reasons why they're not. Okay? What is growing within me or in this connection as I move on? Wow. Wow. The Four of Pentacles upright. And the Four of Cups upright. Financial and emotional stability. Being very grounded. Having a solid foundation. No longer being swept away by our insecurities. But flowing with our emotions. Tuned in. Aware that the fourth cup we were seeking, we were the fourth cup. The whole time we kept looking for that offer. Where's my offer, bro? I think I said that last year. Where's my offer, bro? And then the universe was like, you're sitting in it. Oh, I found it. It was me the whole time. Me. So this is what's growing within you. Security. No more insecurities. Secure attachments instead of anxious and avoidant ones. Or a combination of those two things. I love that for you. All right, so that's what's coming as you learn to release the resistance to coming into union and self and the attachment to a specific person filling that need. All right, divine masculine, let's rebuild. So the masculine side of self, the general energy surrounding the rebuilding process. Now that we have released, we have the Two of Wands in reverse. And the Five of Wands in reverse. So we have been having an incredible struggle, an incredible internal struggle with feminine energy that we feel intimidated by. We feel like this feminine energy could turn us to stone. So our emotions, we struggle with them so much. And the journey, which again, this is another card that represents the twin flame journey. The journey has been very, very difficult and filled with struggle. And so the masculine energy now is ready, is no longer waiting to face this obstacle of coming up against these internal struggles, to face off this feminine energy and risk being turned to stone. But this is definitely about rebuilding from this point where there has been so much struggle and conflict that it's, it carries with it this heavy energy of having to make apologies and having to communicate about the things that we refuse to communicate about for so long. The hidden assistance divine masculine will have for the rebuilding of this relationship and breaking through these struggles is that the third party energy that dominated the conflict has been released. So let's talk about this. This is the Hierophant in reverse, and it is the Three of Cups in reverse, and it comes from a deck that has a distinct third party energy. There's also just too much partying going on in this card in general. This can be good, or when it's in its shadow, not so great, okay? So the hidden assistance divine masculine has is the end of a marriage, most likely, or a legal contract. Or he could have been a member of a very rigid belief system that has had a lot of control over his thoughts and beliefs about how to interact, about relationships, about connection to the spirit world, but releasing the control and authority that third party energy has had over him. This could also be careers. It could be partying, being seen, being out in the social scene. It doesn't just have to be a wife or an ex-wife or an ex-partner or whatever. This can really be all of those things. Any of the energy that kept him, that had power or authority over him, has been released. And this is what's going to help him be able to rebuild the connection, because he's no longer at the mercy of people pleasing or risking destruction or tower moments by being seen. All right, let me grab this next placement. This is, can I pick it up? Please let me see it. Thank you. What past experience challenges me in the rebuilding process? The Emperor in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune upright. So divine masculine is very challenged by wanting to control the timeline and not having control over the timeline. He also is just challenged in that he brought in a lot of these overprotective, jealous, stubborn, ruthless energies into trying to get what he wanted, no matter what. That cost him a lot. But his biggest challenge has really been embracing his fate and destiny here, and moving with that wheel and changing his behaviors, feelings of unworthiness that would cause him to be in the distorted masculine energy. He's had a lot of trouble changing that. That's been a big factor in his discomfort during this process. What can I do right now to build my confidence? The Ten of Swords in reverse and the Tower in reverse. Wow. Saw the Ten of Swords over here. This is divine feminine's behavior that's difficult, right? That's holding her back. Divine masculine, what would build your confidence is if you initiated the rebuilding of your connection If you stopped resisting releasing that old tower, this card with those hands trying to keep this shit together, let it go. And end separation with divine feminine. This will build your confidence. Stop resisting the release. Let that go. It's going to crumble. There is nothing that can be done about it. The tower in reverse is you can't do anything. Nothing to prevent the crumbling of that tower. That is out of your hands. So you can sit forever in the Two of Wands, blocked, because of your fear that this past energy is going to turn you to stone if it sees you. You can stay there. But if you want to build your confidence that you really have achieved what you desire right now in this moment, you will let that shit go and end the separation with divine feminine. That is going to build your confidence. All right, let's look at this position. What possible future challenges could arise? The Fool and Seven of Swords. Okay, now I do not see this Seven of Swords today as shady behavior in regards to player energy or anything like that. Because this divine masculine is fully committed to this feminine. He has released third-party energy. He's not interested. His sexual energy has consistently come up as resisting other opportunities, etc. So I see the challenge is how to surprise feminine with this new beginning. The strategy for bringing about this new beginning is the potential challenge here. We have to rebuild from a state of complete and total conflict. And so it's going to take a lot of thinking, and there is a little strategizing and getting away with some things. We have to keep some things a little private. It's not secret, but private. And can you feel the difference? So divine masculine has to navigate this with the feminine energy. And the feminine energy has been kept a secret. So having to ask for privacy while he figures out how to start this connection again can be a little bit triggering if we have a feminine in her insecurities. But if we have a feminine who is not trying to figure out how the pieces are falling into place, which is her assistance for how to release the behaviors where she has been completely unpredictable because of her insecurities, divine masculine will probably be able to handle this okay. So it really depends on you, feminine, to stop needing to know how divine masculine is going to do this and focus instead on your faith and patience that you've asked for something. The pieces are falling into place. You can even see the pieces now. That's why it's not secret anymore. It's just private. So try to navigate that in your headspace a little bit and see if you can get comfortable there, because the reason we felt being secret before was wrong is because we felt that if divine masculine could keep us secret, then what could he hide from us? We didn't understand the intent for the secrecy, so we felt like he was just potentially secretive. What past behaviors have destabilized the divine masculine? Page of Cups in reverse. Page of Cups in reverse. The divine is not giving you an out on this one, buddy. Incredible amount of emotional immaturity. Just doesn't know how to love. And not in a malicious way, but was never shown tenderness or apologies. Maybe didn't even receive apologies for the way they were treated. Instead of apologies, we get excuses. You know, like if we have a parent that was blatantly neglectful and we're an adult now and we confront the parent and we say, you were missing out on most of like my significant experiences in my childhood and my young adult years. Like, you weren't there, and you weren't sustaining me the way that a maternal or paternal energy should be doing that. So, it really affected me, and it's taken me a long time to work on forgiveness with you. So you have this open conversation with this parent, and then they respond with, I mean, you turned out okay. Like, I think it was good for you that you had to learn how to do things on your own, and I didn't mollycoddle you. Instead of just getting, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't never learn, and now I can see how it's affected you, and I love you, and I've always loved you, and I just didn't really know how to show it, and there were things that were wrong with me. Nah, it's not going to be that kind of parent type conversation. This is a masculine energy that did not receive any education in emotional stability at all. Didn't even understand the value of it. Was maybe even told that emotions were bad for you, that you needed to get rid of them, that emotions prevented you from being successful in life. More common belief than you realize, because we frequently oppress the feminine side of self because we oppress women in general. So he didn't know. And this is the thing that has destabilized him the most. Not having a good, solid understanding of how to express love in a way that is more mature and stable, right? So he's having to learn this. And also, I think not experiencing true love in the past. Never having experienced that before. None of us in this collective, I'm sure, can say that we've had that experience more than once in our lives. So it's not like, he should know this. What can I do now to avoid this and stabilize? Wow. The Three of Cups upright and the World upright, I think. But when I picked up these cards, I was holding them in a weird way, so they could have been in reverse. But if it was in reverse, I mean, it's the same meaning. We already saw the Three of Cups in reverse anyway, and I really do think that this was upright, because what you can do now to stabilize is come into union and end the cycle with the feminine of emotional immaturity. Coming into union will teach you exactly how to love. It's going to develop this at a much larger, expansive level once you actually come into union and celebrate and end the suffering between the two of you. What future prospects do I have to look forward to once I rebuild and stabilize? We have the Strength card in reverse, and we have the Prince of Wands in reverse. So we have to look forward to the end of acting a fool because of our ego, of being inconsistent, of being ineffective, of just, hot and cold, player energy, lots of sexual partners, things like that. Control over that beastly side of self that is constantly trying to appease the ego's fears and anxieties and insecurities. So the same kind of thing, divine feminine, gaining emotional stability and emotional security. This is what divine masculine will be receiving as well. But look at who is helping to achieve the stability. The feminine, who's become emotionally and materially stable at this point in time. So it's a combined effort, in other words. Okay, let's go to the oracles now for Divine Feminine. We're going to look at what needs to be released as a block for sexual energy and what we can do to rebuild into a strong, sacred sexual union. Not surprising. Divine Feminine needing to release suspension. This is Hanged Man energy, and it's emphasized. No longer waiting. I can't believe the next card. I don't think anybody got to see the reading that wasn't actually there live, but I did a reading on Instagram yesterday, and then it posted with no audio. Come on, Instagram. Like, are you fucking kidding me here? But the thing that Divine Feminine needed to do for, like, she wanted Divine Masculine to do to her was this, which was interesting because it will help her in this release process. And the Three of Swords is like, why would that be good? Well, because it's about healing our heart. It's about finally not waiting anymore to come into a sexual union because of our fears that we're going to be heartbroken. And it's also like being willing to just sacrifice your heart for the connection, to die for the connection, honestly. The honesty with self is a big thing, because I think the release for Divine Feminine in general was releasing this defensiveness against this twin flame journey. So it's like just throwing yourself on the sword for it almost to end the suspension. It could also be about, for those of us who have been waiting to engage in sexual energy until masculine arrives, because we want to be with this one particular person because of the attachment we have to this particular person. This could be about, if you want to come into sexual union and release yourself from the suspension you've been in, you might need to engage in third-party energy right now without guilt or shame to get your needs met. There's also that meaning there for some of us. That is a difficult thing to do if you are still in your anxious avoidant attachment position and you're not quite in your secured attachment. So if you're not feeling this foundation in your relationship, dabbling in outside sexual energy could be potentially problematic. Now remember, this is the feminine side of self, but this is for both twins. So keep that in mind. It's like, if you want to get your needs met, you might have to do it with someone else, but it could break someone else's heart. You have to take that into account. Unless you're both really very secure, I don't recommend it if you want to try to make this happen. If you have a lot of security and you really feel the union inside of self, and you know that, like, think back on all the relationships you've had since you've known about this connection. You've been in the relationship. Did you stop loving that person? Nope. Were they in relationships? Did they stop loving you? Nope. I guess it doesn't matter then if they have sex with other people. 9:22 on the clock. We have to get into that space in our headspace. Okay. Divine Feminine, you are coming in the shadow attributes right now with the dilettante. So when we get this is about us being afraid to just do something because we really need to be a professional. And it can also be about just kind of becoming superficial, precisely because we fear, well, we can't really do this, so I'm only going to do a little bit. I'm not really going to throw myself in. I was a dilettante in my career for quite a long time. I look back and I'm like, why didn't I release something like this sooner? And it was because I didn't think that I was professional enough to do something like that, which is ridiculous because I was definitely professional enough to do that. So it's a limiting belief that you need to be more than what you are to do and be and have what you want. And you need to come in to that light of that energy and release any tendency you might have to feel that you have a pretension to deeper knowledge than you actually possess. This is like poser syndrome, being afraid that, you just got here because somebody let you, not because you deserved it. So there's some work you need to do there. Father energy in reverse as well. So right now you might have entered into a bit of a controlling behavior towards your masculine energy or towards yourself. You need to move into the light, which is the talent for creating and supporting life and being a positive guiding light within the tribal unit. I feel this is actually about feminine resisting masculine control. And instead of viewing masculine as being creative and supporting your life and being a positive guiding light, you are feeling he is controlling. So there might be some father wounds that need to be healed. Now remember, father wounds don't have to come from a father. They can come from a distorted masculine energy present in any caregiver. So mom can have a combination of distorted feminine and distorted masculine energy. Dad can have the same. Doesn't matter the gender of your parents. You can have same-sex parents with one person expressing distortions in both places. But the idea that your father maybe didn't act as a guiding light. Maybe there was a sort of benign neglect going on, or maybe there was only control, which came from a place of fear, instead of guidance, which comes from a place of reassurance. Like I guide people who come to me for readings. I don't tell them what to do. A lot of times I will know what they should do by my cards. Like maybe you're not going to want readings with me when you know this, but there are times when I can tell exactly what a person needs to do, but I will not tell you that. I will say, I can see what you need to do, but I'm getting a strong sense that you are not to be told this. You have to figure this out and decide this for yourself. I'm just as infuriating as spirit, it turns out, because I'm only delivering messages from spirit. But my gut tells me whenever I can see a fate, that I should not be insidious with that fate. That I should instead guide the person to the best way I know how, to where they can see their own fate if they continue along the path they're on. That's my job. My job isn't to hand them a map with the road already written out. That's why I don't even like when people give time frames, because I feel like time frames will lock into a person's brain, and there's no sense in doing that. So I try not to do that myself, but sometimes you feel compelled to, and maybe sometimes you're supposed to do that as a messenger so that the person does know that they have to wait, something like that. But you have to come into the light here, divine feminine, and accept divine masculine as a guide rather than as a general. Your play music card is in reverse. This can be an emphasis that you haven't been doing this and you need to. I've been playing music quite a lot, so I know for me, I'm really immersed in music right now. It could mean that you are needing to just be more involved in the creative arts if you're not a musician. Maybe you need to be writing. Maybe you need to be reading. Listening to songs for messages is a big one. Obviously, Tuned in Tarot, that's what we do. So literally, you might want to be paying attention to music, but there's an emphasis here. Now, for some, it could mean maybe you're doing too much. Like I've been only doing music to a certain extent. Maybe you're doing too much, or maybe the way you're communicating is not right. You have to kind of figure out exactly where you are falling for you. Again, this is collective. If you need a personal reading, you got to get a personal reading, which you can do at pearlsprayers.com. There's booking page and all the information there. And there is a discount right now for 25% off. When you fill out your contact form that's on the site there under booking, I will send you the discount code. But it's also, it's Gray Striga 25 with an exclamation point. Okay. Guardian Angel, sweetness. So divine feminine, you can be so sweet, and you're being called on to be very sweet right now, very gentle. very docile, and someone who can be negotiated with, someone who is approachable and kind. You're called on this energy and you're supported in this energy right now. This energy will help you. Honey, right? Instead of vinegar. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. I feel like that 3 of Wands fits in right here. And joy is the ultimate creator. So, if you stay in your joy and you have faith, you create the life you desire. And how do you stay in joy? Well, you stay in joy with gratitude, honestly. Joy can be reached instantly with gratitude, or with dreams, the things that you dream about. The reasons why you want things will lead you to joy. How to get to joy will take you away from it. But if you look at the reasons why you want this partner or this person or this job or this thing to manifest, it's because it gives you joy. And you know what? You think the joy comes from getting it, and it doesn't. It comes from doing it. Not just from receiving the thing, but from doing the things you need to do to receive the thing. And if you don't believe me, then, wouldn't sex just be the orgasm, not the build-up to it? So Divine Feminine's learning that lesson of her happiness and joy is a direct reflection of her level of faith in the universe. And the joy she feels is directly influenced by her level of gratitude. You found it. What did I say? This whole time, this 4 of Cups, you were looking around. Oh, everybody has 4 cups, but I only have 3 cups, and they're all spilled. And I want my cup. Where's my cup? And then you woke up to this realization. You received this clarity that you're in the cup. You are the cup, the vessel that is filled with the unconditional love you were looking for from everyone else. And you're like, oh, I need to give myself unconditional love. Once I do that, I found what I was looking for. I wanted this feeling. I wanted to feel connected. I wanted to feel love. And I kept saying, will you love me? Will you love me? Will you love me? And all of the humans on the earth, even the ones that were like, okay, sure, they're not good at it. They're not until they learn how to be. So most of the relationships where we were seeking love outside of ourselves, we were really disappointed because we don't know how to give love. Remember divine masculine energy? No idea, no clue. Learning it right now, figuring it out. So of course, when we're looking for love outside of ourselves, we're always disappointed, always. And then we ended up on the twin flame train. Here we are. Now we're here. And what are we learning? We are learning that love that we kept looking for, we only ever had to give it to ourselves. The second we felt pain or suffering, we could soothe ourselves. The second that we felt wounded, we could help ourselves see how that event caused us to find something that was always bothering us and heal it. We can comfort ourselves. We can nourish ourselves. We can take ourselves to the park to play. We can buy ourselves toys. We can build ourselves an empire and support ourselves with it. We found it. And it wasn't outside of ourselves. It never was. Confidence is your key to success. So continuing to control that ego, but allowing yourself to be fully magnetic, authentic, showing up, and be totally unapologetic about it. Didn't I say bring a gentle touch? I don't even have to read this one to you today. Dear Spirit, reinforcing the message that came from Sweetness card. This is a card, when you do read it from the Colette Baron Reed deck, talks a lot about how you want to be gentle, tiptoe, negotiate, be sweet, compromise. Don't be a dictator. Don't abuse your authority. You have a lot of authority over the divine masculine. Did you know? You kind of own him. And it's not like in an egotistical way, like, you're my possession. It's just he's given himself to you utterly, at least in his heart. Whether his mind is in complete agreement, that's the struggle. But you need to negotiate. You need to give some ground here and be sweet. I can be sweet. All right. Wow. Here is your block, Divine Feminine. This is the door that needs to be closed or opened, or if we're looking at what needs to be released, and we're going to look at the key to releasing it. Look at this. It's your Ace of Pentacles. It's even the same color. There's always a lot of green in the Ace of Pentacles because it's supposed to represent abundance and prosperity and wealth. Also, it represents the heart chakra, which is interesting because you need balance and you need flow in your heart because you have to be in touch with your passions in order to really create a lot of abundance around it. So what needs to be released right now, and look, you're holding the key in this image. This is like you need to open the door to this view of yourself. You hold the key to your prosperity. You do. The key to truly unlocking your prosperity is so interesting. It's the Knight of Cups. It's being willing to receive it. Just receive it. And going with the flow of your emotions, right? Not sticking them, not completely sticking them, because you're insecure and uncomfortable with the overflow of them, or you're afraid that you're going to cause some kind of a trauma. The Knight of Cups, unlike the King of Cups, can express everything. And unlike the Page of Cups, has a little more of a handle on what he's doing. I also see a storyline here that the key to opening Divine Feminine up to her own prosperity actually does have an effect by the masculine energy does sort of act as a catalyst for her. So the journey has been about that. This getting this cup from this masculine, your fixation on it, is what caused you to figure out that you actually had your keys to your own happiness and contentment and prosperity and abundance. So it's about learning that divine masculine coming is a catalyst. And once you understand your own worth and value, then that divine masculine can actually come. All right, let's look at divine masculines oracles. First, we're going to look at the sexual energy. What needs to be released? And then how do we rebuild once we release this energy? No shit. The Two of Wands, which was overall general energy. This needs to go. This is blocking union. And it's interesting because the Two of Wands is about asking and waiting to get it. And when it's in its reverse, it's about not waiting anymore. Just going for it. Now we're looking at what is blocking divine masculine from sacred sexual union, not from sex, from sacred sexual union, not waiting for it. What will help him rebuild into being able to have sacred sexual union? Moving very slowly into it, not going too fast, but moving very slowly and steadily. And saving this offer, saving this energy, right, for someone who can actually connect in a sacred way, which I got to tell you is not every Tom, Dick, and Harry, depending on your preferences. Sally, Susan, or Rebecca. I don't know. What's the equivalent of Tom, Dick, and Harry? Somebody comment. Anyway, this is rare. Something that's rare you have to wait for. You can't jump into other things, other situations. That's what causes trouble. Divine Feminine knows about this rare, secure, sacred sexual union. She's maybe never had it, but she knows it's possible because she found out a lot sooner that the other types of union were not sacred. And the reason for that is because Divine Feminine's threat to her life from sexual union is much higher than masculine. Not only in history, historically, if you were impregnated before you were married, you were fucked. If you're impregnated before you're married in Texas right now, or even after you're married, or if you're raped, abused, or anything, even if you're 12, you're fucked, right? Feminines have a lot more to lose. It's a lot easier for feminines to get sexually transmitted diseases from masculines. It's life-threatening, utterly. So feminines usually figure this out a lot earlier. You're like, wow, a bunch of these individuals don't give a fuck if I live or die or what happens to me. That doesn't really feel good sexually in the long run. Divine Masculine, not a whole lot of repercussions to him. So waiting for something so precious is a little bit more difficult because not waiting is a lot less life-threatening. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can grab every pussy he wants, talk to the whole world about it, and get elected. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Divine Masculine, you're in the shadow attributes right now. The destroyer energy. You're destroying another's dreams or the potential for someone else's dreams. Okay, so here's a couple of layers. You're afraid that you're destroying someone else's dreams. You are guilty about destroying someone else's dreams. And so you are finding yourself tossing back and forth. Which dreams do I destroy? Do I destroy my Divine Feminine's dreams? Do I destroy the dreams of my past energy that is hoping I won't ever be happy? I guess. With anyone having a hard time. Coming into the light is releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. This card for me is just a reiteration of this, which would make you feel confident. This unwillingness to just let this go, to let the higher power take this right out of your hands, this destruction. Look at the similarity. You're just really afraid, but that will build your confidence. Just allowing the divine to release this on your behalf and facing your fears. You are not destroying others' dreams. You are not. You're destroying your own. The others that you're worried about, they do their own things to destroy their own dreams. It's got nothing to do with you. It really doesn't. So realize that your destruction energy is only destroying your dreams right now, and worry less about how you're going to destroy everyone else's dreams. Because honestly, you're being supported in this triumphant energy. You're going to overcome all of these obstacles. You're going to release. You are rebuilding. This is happening. Embrace this. You are triumphant. So release your fears of destruction and prepare for this new life. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love, and my fearless freedom lights up the world. So Divine Masculine, if you understand that all the obstacles that have been put in front of you were simply put there to bring you to this freedom from this limiting system of beliefs that you have had in your life. If you can embrace that everything that's happening is bringing you towards this energy, and that you have this role that as you break away from these constraints, from this restrictive thinking that makes us feel unworthy, that makes us feel like our emotions are not valid, all of those things that are holding us from being truly whole and complete inside of ourselves, you will show others on a grand scale. This says the world. This doesn't say like a couple people at the bar who you tell the story to. You are going to light up the world with this transformation. Passion. Passion is not always a pleasant experience. Sometimes there's jealousy or anger. Sometimes there's sexual passion, right? We enjoy that. But we might even enjoy really being pissed off. Passion is kind of a fun experience, whether it's for positive or negative results. But the passion here is, there's no question. And you need to embrace this within yourself. You have this. You're the emperor. That's Aries energy. That's a shit ton of passion. Embrace it. Let it flow through you. Expect powerful change emphasized. This is it's 9:44 on the clock. This is extreme change, big transformations. This is kind of like the Tower card in reverse again also. Surrender those changes to the divine. Allow the divine to take care of that for you. Make your dreams real. This is Spider Spirit. We saw this card coming up in a reading yesterday for the Divine Masculine on the 8 of Pentacles, where he's been building this web. You've built the web. Now, make your dreams come true. Oh my God. I don't make this up. There's no way I could. I'm not this clever. If I shuffled all of my decks and tried to figure out which combination of cards I should pull out to get these type of readings, it's not even possible. So here's the Tower again. This is the door that needs to be opened or closed. And for Divine Masculine, this is the release that needs to take place. And it is the card of release. That Tower image that I'm going to pull up again because it's just one of the best Tower cards I've ever seen from the Rachel True Intuitive Heart Tarot. I can't pick it up though. These hands trying to hold this up is just such a gorgeous representation of the Tower. Divine Masculine, what is the key? What is your key to no longer being afraid to let go and release? Justice. This could literally be the legal system. You might need to be legally released from something. There could be some of us that are still in marriages. Now remember, this is masculine energy, but feminine energy and masculine energy are within you. So whatever your gendered body parts are, there might be some of us that still have legal connections with others or contracts with others. For others, it is that they need to use the justice system to liberate themselves from a rigid authority. That's not necessarily a marriage. This is also about learning our lessons. So learning that when we hold on to a burning tower with our bare hands, what happens? First of all, you can't hold up a tower with your bare hands. So the tower falls anyway, and we get burnt. Learn that lesson. Every time you've tried to prevent a tower, you've gotten burnt. And the karmic situations that are causing these lessons so that you can move on and receive your diploma. All right, Divine Couple. Here are the cards that you are in union in regards to. I like this. Oh, hang on. That is not a complete message because, oh no, it is a complete message. I just don't have this card also. There we go. Interesting. The Ace of Wands just fell sideways here. All right. Now I have the bottom of the deck for both. So for the sexual energy for the two of you, we have the King of Wands and we have that Nine of Swords that comes out a lot for the sexual energy for divine feminine in reverse. There's a call here to just do it. Despite your fears, despite your anxiety, come together in sacred sexual union. Use the passion that you feel for this connection and allow it to draw you together and release the painful, traumatic wounds that you experienced in the past in regards to energy that dominated or abused or assaulted or any of those kinds of experiences. Now you can release those feelings and allow this pull, this passion to bring you together into sacred sexual union. Your Virgin card is in reverse today, but you're in the shadow attributes of the Virgin because you're afraid of intimacy. Don't make it up. You're afraid of this intimacy. This is what you feel. You feel this. You're like, I just want to be physical with this energy, with this person, even though I'm afraid. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm so afraid of it, but I just want it. Go for it. Do it. That is the King of Wands. This card is the Nike card. Just do it. Nothing holds back the King of Wands. Nothing. Maintain symbolic purity of heart and spirit. That's the only takeaway from the Virgin card. You need to face your fears of intimacy together. Your guardian angel is here to support you in optimism because that's really all you need. You just need to stay optimistic about things working out whenever they do, at whatever time. I've been on my journey for 13 years. 13. I'm amazing now from this journey. So, I'm going to be optimistic that whatever happens, whether it's physical union or not, I'm going to keep getting better and better and better and better because that's what's been happening. So be optimistic about this journey. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is the highest good. So you're both facing those fears of intimacy for one another and understanding that as you do that, love cannot destroy. Love isn't going to destroy the world around you. Is that a story that the way that people behave when they don't know how to love destroys things, but love itself does not destroy. It is for the highest good. So face your fears about what your love is going to do to the world, because it's going to bring about fearless freedom for all. Hey, our grieving card is finally in reverse. It's been upright and coming out for the union almost every day, but it came out today in reverse because we're moving out of this time of grief. We're ending the separation. We're transforming and coming together into union. Just hold your vision right now. Hold this vision that you have of this sacred union and believe that nothing that has happened is wasted. Nothing. All the experiences, the 13 years that I have had, I do not regret them at all. Are there times when I felt like there were missed opportunities? I can say sure, but at the same time, I can say, but I'm glad I missed it because I know that the universe was conspiring to bring me what I asked for, and it wasn't supposed to happen that way. Nothing is wasted. hold that vision and understand that all of your experiences are so valuable in helping you achieve what it is you desire. You feel like the things that happen to you are keeping you from achieving, but it's the opposite. They're ensuring that as you are achieving, you're able to receive it, experience it, and enjoy it. This is the door, the Six of Pentacles, that needs to be opened in this relationship. The lack of reciprocity needs to be released. So we need to close the door on not giving and receiving equally and open the door on reciprocity. And the answer, the key, is interestingly the Queen of Wands. Again, we saw her. She came out yesterday for something. I don't remember. Now I did a bunch of readings yesterday on TikTok. So the Queen of Wands is one who holds her vision, even more so than the King of Wands, I would say. Both are visionary, but the Queen holds the vision. The King enacts the vision, takes the action, right? The Queen of Wands is also an excellent communicator. When she's in her light, she's incredibly attractive, magnetic. She's powerful, spiritual, fiery. It's interesting that for this image, we see no fire. She's wearing blue. She seems peaceful. The yellow in the flowers is really the only source of light we're gaining from this image. So the key to reciprocity has to do with valuing this feminine energy equally and seeing her as a bride, I think, as the equal partner in the relationship. Now, I say 9:55 on the clock. I say equality sort of loosely because I don't actually think that all relationships are 100% equal and perfectly balanced. I think we aim for balance. We try to negotiate balance. We try to compromise a balance within ourselves and within all of the relationships around us. An equal give and take, right? As much as possible, a balanced give and take. So working towards this for this couple involves actually raising divine feminine status to the level of a wife, I would say. Somebody who is your partner. That is going to open the door to true reciprocity between the two of you. All right, let's pull some final cards just to get a little bit of advice about what we should focus on today that will help us with this release and rebuild process. Please like, subscribe, and share. That's really the best way to help with my YouTube channel. You can click the links below to see my website, pearlsprayers.com. All my personal services, private readings, etc., contact form, email, everything, all that is there. You can also see the music I make. I am a musician from Pearl and the Prayers. I write, perform, record, and produce my music. I just released a song at the end of July called It's Me, Babe. It's available everywhere. Please stream it. That helps me so much. I think Big Lebowski today. I love this guy. Tomorrow, I will be doing a live reading with Grace Strega sometime. I did not get a time yet with her, so stay tuned to my stories to see what time we're going to go live because we actually do pull cards for you live and answer questions. We might do a little TikTok session beforehand, so you can catch us in both places tomorrow, probably on TikTok and Instagram live. And I would guess whatever time we're going live on Instagram, we would probably hit TikTok about 30 minutes before I am just lost my train of thought because I realized I pulled the wrong deck for this and I need to do a different deck. 30 minutes before the Instagram reading, we'll be pulling just some cards on TikTok. So you can have an opportunity to try to have cards read on TikTok at that time. And I might actually do more TikTok readings later today. I had fun doing that yesterday, so I'll probably do that again today. But I'm sorry, I don't know what time. All right, let's see. Oh, what am I doing? more coffee. Okay. Divine Feminine, let's start with you. This is what you need to do today to come into alignment, release fully, and feel good. I really can't. You got camera in reverse, girl. And the thing that you were supposed to do to help yourself was to stop watching masculine. Stop looking at masculine right now on social media. But it's also about releasing old memories, learning from the past, no longer holding on to that specific iteration or the way that person once was, or whatever it is that you keep noticing that's bothering you. Take your attention off of that. Focus instead on this card. Soul connection. Your whole block you needed to release was your resistance to the story of this soul connection. Was your resistance to allowing yourself to believe in it or think about it or really believe that it's going to happen, however you want to put it, right? So take your focus off of what's going on Instagram and all of the social media, because it's bullshit. Focus instead on your soul connection to this individual, your higher level relationship, your 5D energy. And prepare yourself for a truly lovely surprise. Because this is definitely about being surprised by something really lovely. I also see here the 9 of Wands, which is that card that you needed to be in here. This is what you were making space for, healing and being open to receiving true love, which, by the way, we saw, I forgot to point out, 3 times in this reading. There's a lot of cards actually that were repeated again. I just don't even barely say it anymore because it's so fucking many cards. And this is also about work too. So it's kind of like, just do your work. Think about the soul connection, love the soul connection. I'll probably be on my radio all day listening to how much my divine masculine loves me while I'm working on my shit, because I do have to do some stuff, and preparing yourself to receive what you truly desire. Be discerning, have clarity about things that are coming around you. Keep your healthy boundaries, maintain healthy boundaries, but looking pretty good right now. Just hang in there. Stop worrying so much about what the fuck person's doing. Just focus on work right now and allow yourself to receive and believe, okay? Divine masculine, what do you need to do today? You need to ascend. You need to transcend these obstacles, learn expansion, and prepare for union. Prepare for takeoff. Palm tree. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. You need to be flexible, but you're growing and expanding. Prepare for this union. Stabilize this energy. Do what you should do according to the reading. To build confidence, it said you should stop trying to resist the crumbling of something that is past and end the separation. Prepare for that to happen. Prepare for this union, the end of a cycle. Divine masculine, what are you preparing for? I think you're preparing for a lot of fun, sexy times, okay? So get ready. And we're seeing the 5 of Swords upright and the 9 of Cups. Stop fighting. Stop. Just accept defeat. It's time to just go ahead and allow yourself to receive this love from feminine. Now, we are all fixated on divine masculine giving love to the feminine, giving the offer. And why am I not saying you just need to give up and just bring her the offer? Because that's not what's stopping divine masculine. Bringing the offer to feminine isn't stopping him. He's already said, I love you, I love you, I love you, I want to marry you, you're the best thing ever, you're the greatest. And if he hasn't said that to you and you haven't gotten that clear message from the masculine, then you might not yet have met the twin, because that masculine energy has definitely declared his intentions and his feelings. That's what makes the Waite very frustrating. This isn't something that is hidden. He has revealed this. He might have revealed it in a secretive way to you, but he has absolutely expressed this. Okay. So offering you his love is not what we're waiting for, even though we think we are. No, we are waiting for the divine masculine to be able to receive our offer. Why can't we receive divine masculine's offer? Because we don't even have the full true value of our own that we're giving him. So we feel like we're unworthy to receive it. Why isn't he coming to you with the offer? Because he feels unworthy to receive yours. Stop fighting receiving love, masculine. You feel like you don't know how to love back properly, so you are afraid to get love. You don't have to know how. It's not something one knows. It's something one experiences. It's not something one can learn from words, because words don't really teach. Words offer you a frame of reference for which you can reflect back upon your own experiences, but your experiences are what truly teach you. So if you never release the fear of intimacy and come in and receive true intimacy, you won't ever learn how to love. You learn by doing. And you're gonna get it wrong. You're gonna get it wrong sometimes. You're gonna fuck it up. You are. It's inevitable. That's how we learn. But the whole benefit to this person is that they know this, they believe this, and they have the ability to allow for mistakes to be made and still experience love while maintaining healthy boundaries that prevent them from being diminished by your mistakes. The bottom of the deck for all of you is this: the Three of Swords in reverse, the Coffin in reverse, and Myss. You are both afraid that when divine masculine truly ends his last connection, whatever it is, whether it was a relationship or if it was a rigid belief system he was in, or a job, or whatever the bondage is, you are afraid that if he truly ends, that there will be energy that will try to steal your happiness from you. And that you're going to have to fight for your right to party. This is your fear. You have to face it. You also might be afraid that you won't heal from the end. You might not heal from the separation, that the other person could potentially not be healed, and that they could steal your heart because they aren't ready and they will leave you. Again, do the things that terrify you. We actually don't enjoy comfort all that much. If we did, the pandemic would have been a lot more fun, because it was really kind of cushy for some people. Other people, not everyone. I'm not talking about everybody here. I know there's a lot of people that did not have a cushy experience, but there were many of us that I was watching, many celebrities who had really wonderful houses and places that I'm sure that they were thinking to themselves, oh, I'm never home and I never get to enjoy my fucking palace. And within, 2 weeks of that, they were complaining about sipping cocktails by the pool. It turns out being really comfortable is kind of boring. We kind of like challenges. Pretty soon, the discomfort of the pandemic became interesting. Turned into a lot of incredible art that we're getting to experience now. Get uncomfortable. that's when you're going to have a lot of fun. I don't like roller coasters. I guess I like water slides. I really like water slides, but I don't like roller coasters. I don't like mechanical clicking noise. It's just, I don't like that. But water slides I like. So why do I like water slides? It's exhilarating. It's thrilling. It's a strange experience to fall from a high place quickly down a wet slide. I don't know. But I like it. And there are people who love roller coasters. They're like, strap me into this contraption. I can't wait to feel like I'm going to die somewhere. We like it. We like being uncomfortable. We like being thrilled. We like intensity. We like it. So why are you avoiding it? Go into it. Just do it. I hope this helped you today. It helped me. I'm going to go now and clean this mess up and do more readings for TikTok. And then I'll probably do more after that because that's been my day lately. But I do have to do some music at some point. I've really been avoiding music the last few days. I just worked with my bassist and we rehearsed a bit for shows and worked a little bit on a track. And I'm just kind of like, Hi there. I see you. Thank you for joining me today. All right, I'm going to go do the things. I shall see you later, probably tomorrow with Grace Strega. And I'm probably going to do a Tell Me Everything spread on Sunday now that I'm doing the Grace Strega reading on Saturday. And hopefully Instagram won't delete the sound. All right, take care, everybody. Have the best weekend if I don't see you until Monday.